One movie. A movie so bad, critics plumb the depths of their creativity to find adequate terminology to describe the horror. A movie so bad, the world decided to spend most of 2020 in hiding. A movie so terrible, the internet started asking for a version that featured exposed buttholes.
Because that's how you get ants!
In 1939, T.S. Eliot published a collection of poems entitled Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. They were poems that were included in letters to his godchildren. They're a good example of literary nonsense. Check out my episode on Alice in Wonderland if you want to know more about literary nonsense. There are different theories on why the nonsense device is used. In this case, it looks like Eliot was trying to amuse children with how weird cats are. And I mean, yeah, cats are silly and they do silly things. In 1977, Andrew Lloyd Webber started setting the poems to music with as much god-awful synth as you can imagine. It ran for 21 years in London and 18 on Broadway. As of 2012, it has made $3.5 billion. Regardless of how you feel about it, Cats the Musical has been around a long time and had a huge staying power. If you're looking for more information, I recommend Lindsay Ellis's Why Is Cats? With a surprising 20% critic rating and an even more surprising 53% audience score, we try to find anything nice to say about cats. Cats is a story about a group of cats known as jellicles who are competing to die. By dying and going to the Heaviside layer, they will be reborn into a new cat life. The cat that gets to die is known as the Jellicle choice, chosen by Old Deuteronomy. Before you scoff, I think this is meant to be a nod to the fact that cats have 9 lives, and this would be what would get them to the next one. Victoria is a cat who was thrown out on the street in a bag the night of the Jellicle Ball, and now is hanging out with these jellicles.
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 Jellicles. Jellicles. You're a jellicle cat.
God, I hate that word. Let's start with the rules before they start breaking them. If you're in the running to be the choice, you sing a song about what makes you so great. I mean, all the cats in the running have a pretty pampered life except Jennifer Hudson's Grisabella, but whatever. Rule number 2... Okay, well, that's the only rule. There is no rule number 2, and they break that rule. It's almost like they tried to make the plot stronger, but were like, you know what? Forget it. Just whatever. Everybody has a song.
Jellicle songs for jellicle cats. Jellicle songs for jellicle cats. Jellicle songs for jellicle cats.
So Idris Elba's McCavity starts kidnapping candidates in order to be the only one left standing. He goes so far as to kidnap Deuteronomy to force her to make him the choice. That leads to the second best musical number, which is Mr. Mistopheles. Mistopheles is a magical cat who tries to make Deuteronomy reappear, so throughout the whole number they're trying to cheer him on and encourage him. It's basically the only musical number with any motivation.
As magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
So, all the candidate cats escape without much difficulty. McCavity is foiled. Throughout the night, Grisabella has been sort of stalking the outskirts of the ball because she's been cast out of the society. Jennifer Hudson really blows everyone in this film out of the water. To be honest, though, the song Memory doesn't belong in this musical. Here's a silly song about a fat cat who trains cockroaches to dance. Here's another silly song about a different fat cat. Here's a silly song about a cat who works in a theater. Here's a song about how I don't want to live to see another dawn.
When the dawn comes, tonight will be a memory too, and a new day will begin.
Wait, what? God, Jennifer Hudson knocks us out of the park. If you only have one interaction with cats, it should be listening to her perform this song. as things shake out, it's Grisabella who is picked for the Heaviside layer, and she ascends in a balloon. Judi Dench's Deuteronomy spends a musical number telling us what we just watched because, well, musical. I think the funniest cat is Ian McKellen's Gus the Theater Cat. At one point when they're escaping from McCavity's ship on the Thames, he hisses, and it's maybe the cutest thing ever. He also looked the most like a human in a costume, not so much a weird cat creature. I didn't really find the cat effects that unnerving. I wonder if seeing it in a theater would have been a different story. In a movie theater, it's inescapable. Hybrid cat people front and center, right in your face. To that end, though, it's pretty clear that whoever animated the tails and the ears put a lot of loving thought and energy into it. Whoever that person is, you deserve an award. I'm not a musical scholar, but there are some songs in this musical that are pretty bad. They go minor to add this sort of ominous quality when nothing ominous is actually happening. And did I mention the god-awful synth? Because it's god-awful. Despite what it became, I think there's some nonsense striking for truth in the poems. What if a cat could name itself? What's the story behind the train cat or the theater cat? It's not such a stretch to see that people were obsessed with cats before the internet. There's a magical cat, a horn dog cat, 2 fat cats, but no Lil Bub or Grumpy Cat. Cats is weird. It's a musical about a bunch of cats, and that's pretty much the extent of it. Jason Derulo plays a horn dog. Taylor Swift has a British accent in one line of a song, but not the next. Idris Elba takes off his fur coat at one point, looks a little bit like maybe he's naked. It's silly and absurd, and it's very concept. It's literary nonsense. If you're going to watch Cats, just prepare yourself beforehand. None of it makes sense, and it violates its own rule. Why didn't Rum Tum Tugger get kidnapped? Was he a candidate? If not, why did he get a song about himself? Watch Cats and wait for Jennifer Hudson to be on the screen. If she didn't deserve an Oscar before, she definitely does now. She made a burnt-out street cat the most compelling character and one of the weirdest things ever set to film and marketed towards the mainstream. It's like watching a series of decisions where every choice was the wrong one. Now that Cats is streaming on a pretty popular service, I think more of you will watch it and think, we sacrificed our social lives in 2020 for this? That's all for this episode of Anything Nice to Say. Tune in next time and never be ashamed to like what you like. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Find my book, Live Like Legends, wherever books are sold. Visit our merch store for merch and subscribe to us on Patreon for exclusives and extras. You can also get your names in the credits. If you have a movie about which you would like us to find anything nice to say, drop it in the comments below.